Good evening and thanks for joining us for 41 NBC News at 11. I'm Ariel Schiller. Tucker Sargent has the night off. Our top story tonight at 11. All right, that's our top story tonight at 11. That was new body cam video released by the Byron Police Department of the chase and arrest last week. As you saw in the video, officers blocked a vehicle at the Highway 42 and 49 intersection as they tried talking to the driver, who also had a small child in the car. She drove off and hit 3 Byron police officers, or police cars, I should say, and an officer and 2 witnesses. The driver, 24-year-old Sierra Hibbert, drove a short distance before she was blocked and arrested. Hibbert is charged with 6 counts of aggravated assault, and the Peach County Sheriff's Office says more charges are pending. To see the full video, head to 41NBC.com. A Macon man will serve 20 years in prison for pretending to be a 12-year-old girl online to get and then sell child porn. A judge sentenced 27-year-old Anthony Brown after he pleaded guilty to distribution of child pornography. He will also have to register as a sex offender after his release. An investigation revealed that Brown claimed he was a 12-year-old girl on social media, and he threatened a middle school girl to create and send sexual material that he later sold online. Well, new at 11, the Pleasant Hill community is planning for its future as the community held the first of 7 public forums. The forums will help with coming up with a strategic plan. I attended the meeting to find out what residents want in their backyard. The Pleasant Hill neighborhood looks much different than it used to. Lifelong Pleasant Hill resident Lucille Williams says many of the houses are run down and stores either closed down or moved out of the area.
The different stores that used to be in the community, we could walk to the store, you could walk to the store and get milk and then bread. There are really no stores in our neighborhood that you can do that.
Williams was one of more than a dozen people who attended the first public forum. The next 6 will cover a range of topics from public safety to recreation. Tanja Kabir represents the Pleasant Hill Neighborhood Organization. She says the goal of the meetings is to create a list to improve Pleasant Hill.
We understand that there's a lot of issues that are happening, whether it's with public safety, whether it's with youth and education. We want to be able to monitor that so that when we see improvements, we can say this is working or this is not working. We want to be able to identify possibilities and opportunities like what can work.
Kabir hopes to see better access to basic needs, education, and public safety measures.
I would just like to see increased opportunities for health and safety in the neighborhood. I think that's super important, and I think that's something that you would hear from a lot of residents just in general.
Williams says she misses the old neighborhood stores and wants the area to be cleaned up.
This was one of the most beautiful neighborhoods, and that's why they call it Pleasant Hill, because everything was so pleasant. and everybody looked at it for each other.
The next meeting is tomorrow at the Booker T. Washington Community Center. The discussion will focus on the youth. We'll have a full list of meeting dates and topics on our website, 41NBC.com. In more local news, construction has begun for the new amphitheater at the current Macon Mall site. Construction crews started clearing the site to begin the building process. The amphitheater is expected to have 10,000 seats. Chris Floor with Macon-Bibb County says government offices and indoor pickleball courts will be added to the mall. He says he wants people to come to the area and enjoy themselves.
The mall has a steep history for our community. It's been here for several decades. Many people have very fond memories of coming here as children and even as adults. And we're hoping to bring back not just the mall, but this entire corridor with new opportunities for people.
According to Floor, the amphitheater should be finished by next summer. Well, if you could believe it, school starts in 2 weeks. And in Jones County, the school transportation department says it needs bus drivers or it may need to adjust routes. Right now, the department says it's searching for new bus drivers due to a shortage of drivers within the past few years. According to Transportation Director Wendy Vaughn, this means merging bus routes to account for less school buses on the road. But she says the district is prepared to make sure kids get to school on time no matter what.
It's nothing new. It's nothing different than any other county in the state of Georgia or in the United States. We are all looking at bus driver shortages.
Like we said, the Jones County Schools Transportation Department is actively hiring for new bus drivers. If you want to apply, look for this story on 41NBC.com. And as families prepare for back to school, Atrium Health Navicent says it's important for parents to start getting their kids into their school routines. This includes eating a balanced breakfast, being active during the day, and having a bedtime. Pediatricians say students who start their routines early are better prepared for the school year.
So kids who have already started going to bed early, getting in that routine, getting everything together for school, those kids are going to be better prepared. So a tired kid is going to perform less in school, and so you have to start right now getting that child ready.
Starting early will also help parents adjust to the new schedule too. Still ahead on 41 NBC News at 11, the Jones County Animal Shelter is taking part in Shane's War this week. Details on the important event next.
Get news anytime on 41NBC.com.
Welcome back. The Jones County Animal Shelter says it's at max capacity, and it's seeing more pets coming in than being adopted out. To help with the overflow, the shelter is taking part in a week-long adoption event called Shane's War. The community can stop by the shelter and find solutions to help get more animals adopted. Right now, the county-run shelter has more than 80 cats and dogs. 2 pets have been adopted so far this week, and the shelter says if you can't adopt a pet, there's other ways to help.
Sponsoring an adoption for someone else that would love to come and get an animal. There's so many different ways that they can help without actually adopting. We have links for Facebook. Our Facebook page has links for our Amazon wish list. We have a PayPal link.
The shelter says its goal is to adopt every animal they have by the end of this week. If you would like to adopt an animal, the shelter is located at 1015 Monticello Highway. Now it's time to get a look at our weather. Here's 41 NBC AccuWeather Chief Meteorologist Cecilia Reeves. Cecilia, is it good adoption weather? Like, should we be staying inside instead of, staying outside?
We're very much in that summertime pattern. So
welcome back. He spent the last 8 seasons at Mount DeSales, but now he is at ACE, the Academy for Classical Education in Macon. Here's Bill Shanks with head football coach Keith Hatcher in the Coach's Corner.
Keith Hatcher is back with us, the first-year head coach at ACE, of course, after 8 years out Mount DeSales. Now he takes on a different challenge. ACE was 4-5 last year. They made the playoffs. It was a decent season for this young program. And Coach, you have a process going through here. You're a new head coach. You have a building team, a team that I think everybody in the city saw slowly getting better. And now you have the task of kind of putting all this together. This sounds almost kind of expansion-like, for lack of a better term, as far as kind of building a team from scratch. I know you have the players coming back and so forth, but I would think this is kind of a challenge that's exciting for a coach to be able to do something like this, isn't it?
It really is, and I think it's exciting for the team, too. We're just in the very early stages. We're getting to know them. They're getting to know us. They're learning to trust us, and that's really what we're working on this summer. We're approaching it as if we are starting a program, and that's exciting. There's a lot of upside, a lot of good athletes, high-character kids in the program, and we feel like we have the opportunity to grow quickly and hopefully have some early success.
All right, that Hatcher name always associated with offense. You got a couple of offensive players coming back. Caleb Scarberry returns as the quarterback, Bryce Whitley as the wide receiver. Is that kind of where you start?
Yeah, Caleb's had a good career up to this point. Bryce Whitley scored 10 touchdowns as a freshman last year. His brother Sam will also be out wide, who's been injured, who's battled some injuries, but those two out wide will really be weapons for us. And then a running back, Aaron Davis, who's also had some success. We think he can be a special player. So we've got some key components offensively that we're looking to build off of.
On defense, you've got a good player, Gavin West, who's also a baseball player, coming back to help you out at linebacker. this team gave up 32 points per game last year, so you need to get better on defense this year, don't you?
Yeah, we're working on that. Coach Reese is doing a great job as the new defensive coordinator. Gavin West has been an anchor for this team in the middle. David Riddell, Noah Sanderson, a couple of other productive kids. Again, we've got some key pieces on both sides of the ball, just trying to build that team aspect this summer. They're giving great effort. I can say that. We really don't know what to expect at this point. Hopefully all that will unfold in the next couple of weeks for us. But I do know the guys are giving great effort. They're working hard. We're getting better each week, and that's really all we can ask for.
Well, it's going to be fun to see how it goes at Ace. I think, as you mentioned in our first report about the city games, it's going to be fun, and just to see how you put this program together with Mark Farabee and your fine staff. Coach, thank you very much for being with us. Good luck to you this year.
Thank you, Bill. Go Griffins.
You can see that full conversation with Coach Hatcher and all of Bill's Coach's Corner interviews at 41NBC.com. After the break, a final look at your forecast with Cecilia right after this.